You guys, we did it. We actually did it. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It took us 5.5 years, but we totally did it. It's incredible. You guys have worked your butts off. You never give me any guff. It's unbelievable milestone. This is our achievement day. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Feels good, doesn't it? Feels good. Now, in all seriousness, this is one incredible milestone, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's been a 5.5 year journey since March of 2016 when I started this channel, and I just want to start out by helping someone else out there the way YouTube has helped me. And lo and behold, it is now my full-time job. I've gotten married, I've quit my job, I'm now a father all throughout that time, and thanks to you guys and you alone, I'm able to do this full-time, and I'm able to help others learn how to build and create, which is my truest passion in life. So thank you all so much. And with that, there has to be some gifts along the way. So today we are going to be doing an amazing walnut burrow coffee table that I will be actually giving away, and I will show you at the very end of this video on how to actually enter to win this prize, as well as a few other prizes along the way, which I definitely think quite a few of you will be interested in. But in any case, let's get started. Oh, and let me know what you want to see over the next 12 months, because I'm going to be pumping out plenty of content, and I want to know personally what you guys want to see over these next few months on this channel, on this platform, because you're going to be the ones that are being watching and helping this channel grow. So I want to know what you want to see. Let's do it. This slab is pretty roughed up from the get-go, but you can see the inherent beauty and grain structure of the slab right away, which sticks out, and you know from the very beginning of this project it's going to look beautiful in the end. The first thing we have to do on this project is actually cleaning up the edges, and that consists of removing all of the bark that's left behind, because even if it's on there pretty good at this point, it will fall off eventually. I would also highly suggest doing this before you start planing down your slab, because if your bit does hit the bark in a wrong way, then it might shoot right at you, and we don't want that. Now, this slab flattening plane is from a Woodpecker's, and the bit itself that I'm using is a 2-inch wide bit from Bits and Bits. This is an expensive setup, but I will leave a link above if you want to check out how I made a $20 version instead. I truly love the planing process because it really showcases the beauty of the grain structure immediately, and you can see an amazing transformation right away. As for the slab, I did get it from Live Edge Hardwoods, and if you want to check out their amazing selection of slabs, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. From this angle, you can truly see the amazing variance between color to color, and the aspect of the burl really comes to life just from playing it down. Just wait till we actually get this thing finished. I decided to remove the top and bottom section of the slab just because I wanted a more cohesive shape, and those were just sticking out a little bit too much for my liking. Now comes time for sanding, and I'm just doing a rough sand first over the entire area because I want to make sure I'm removing all of the planing marks that were left behind. I'm going over the top and bottom with 60 grit sandpaper, and we will do plenty of sanding on all of the edges, but not before we start filling some of these holes. Now, as you can see, this is a beautiful grain structure on both sides, and I basically just rough sanded both sides, and I actually put some clear plastic packing tape on the back side because I'm going to fill all these miscellaneous holes on this side. Now, you probably don't have to fill these holes, but I want a perfectly clean finished look in the end, so I'm going to fill them with epoxy and then do a finish sand after that. But as you can see, the beautiful grain structure of this piece of wood is absolutely incredible, and I can't believe I'm giving this thing away, but it is going to be so worth it to say a huge special thank you to all of you. So let's get to it. For filling these holes, I'm using a thickened epoxy adhesive from BYOT, and I wanted to use this product because it was such a thick product compared to the rest of the products that I have, due to the fact that I'm just trying to fill the top portion of these holes. I do have packing tape at the bottom just in case any spills out, but I'm specifically designing this so it's just filling the top portion of the holes. Thoroughly mix this product together with your opaque pigment, and as a side note, I probably would suggest using a powdered pigment next time versus a more liquid based pigment. It did take a bit longer for this epoxy to dry up thoroughly versus the standard hour or two it should have taken. I waited till the next day and then I proceeded to start sanding away. We are now starting from a 100 grit and going up all the way to 220. The first course of business. Get it? Course? That is kind of a dad joke, but I can make those because I am a dad now. Anyways, moving on. The first course of business is removing all of the leftover epoxy and then proceeding to the edges. Now I'm using a cut saw blade here, which is actually oval shape, which allows me to get into those really unique grooves into the slab, as well as removing some very stubborn bark that just does not want to come off with a sander. With a grinder in this wheel, it takes off copious amounts of material even with the fine blade. I proceed to using my random orderable sander on all of the edges that I can get to, and once I've maxed out the ability of the sander, I then proceed to hand sanding all of the edges. The edges on a table like this and on any piece of wood that is going to have quite a few people touching it is the edges, because I want someone when they feel this piece to say, wow, that is smooth. And to have a buttery smooth finish in the end, you really need to do your due diligence with the sanding portion, because if you don't get that right, it's never going to feel right in the end. When hand sanding a very uneven surface, I always suggest taking a soft sanding block as well as a piece of sandpaper, and then use the sandpaper to sand it smooth, but the sanding block really allows you to get around those really unique tight-knit corners easily and quickly.
Ooh. Now, since we have our sanding portion now finally taken care of, it's time to install our table legs. Now these are some really nice high quality steel table legs from Doug Mockett. With a stylish table like this, we need some stylish legs. Let's get them installed.
When I'm installing table legs, I always suggest installing table legs on a perfectly flat, level surface, because then you're working off of a level surface to make sure that your legs are level as well. This 2-foot level also worked out perfectly because I was able to space out both sections of legs evenly by using it as a reference point. I then pinpoint all the hole locations for each leg, and now it's time to drill.
There's a couple of ways to install these legs, but on this project, I'm actually going to be installing these insert nuts. These insert nuts are a nice professional looking way to actually install fasteners into your wood slab. I also have a collar on this drill bit in order to guarantee that I'm not going to go too deep when I'm drilling into this slab. Pretty important. Let's try it out.
Key note of advice is just to double check the depth of your drill comparatively to the thickness of your wood. Trust me, you don't want any mishaps at this point. And as long as the wood is at least 1/8 of an inch thicker than the depth of your drill bit step, then you're going to be just fine. Go ahead and vacuum up any miscellaneous particles left in those holes, and then proceed to installing your insert nuts. The really nice thing about these inserts is that they're extremely strong and durable, as well as the fact that they're actually removable. So in the future, if you do need to remove one, or if you have to replace one due to damage, you're easily able to remove it and then replace it with a brand new one. I installed all the legs just to make sure they fit properly and correctly, but after we test them out, and yes, they do look mighty fine, let's go ahead and start finishing this beautiful top. I first take some mineral spirits and remove all the excess sawdust and miscellaneous particles left on this slab, let it dry, and then proceed to taking a tack cloth and removing the remaining particles left behind. And trust me, you're going to be surprised what this tack cloth picks up. And as you can see, I wasn't lying. And as for finish, we are of course using my favorite finish for walnut, which is the Armasil Satin Finish by General Finishes. The reason why I love this finish, particularly on walnut, is because it leaves such a beautiful depth and richness to the walnut itself, as well as making an extremely durable finish when you're putting multiple layers on your piece. And on this piece, we are doing 3 layers. Now, the first step is to evenly apply a coat on the back side and then wipe off all the excess, but I wait approximately 10 minutes for the finish to soak in thoroughly on that side. I use a clean lint-free cloth to remove all of the excess and then proceed to flipping it over and applying a finish coat on the top side. As for application, I'm using a foam brush, which I feel really does a nice job at applying a nice even coat of finish over the entire surface. Now, you can be one of those individuals that just pours the finish right on top, but personally, I like the look and feel of applying finish onto a surface like this. And trust me, after all that hard work on getting this piece prepped out the way it is, you gotta really enjoy this part of the application process. Same procedure as the bottom, allow the surface to dry for approximately 10 minutes, then remove all of the excess and wait for it to dry at this point. Now, you really want to make sure you remove all of the excess, because if you don't, the finish will become very tacky and you will just not like the end product. Trust me. The next day, I come back to the piece and apply my second layer of finish. Same exact process that we just did, just applying a second layer in order to build up the durability of this finish over time. Now, as a key side note, if you are trying to flip this over as I'm doing here in this video, I would highly suggest getting some finishing cones like this. These are specific cones that can be attached to your bench cookies, and therefore your piece can rest upon it, and you can be rest assured that it's not going to affect the finish of your piece, and will help with workflow because you're able to do both sides at the same time, and then allowing the piece to dry. Now, before the final coat, I then decide to take a buffing pad and just buff the surface slightly over the entire course of the piece. Now, this just knocks down all those small little tidbits on the surface, and then after that, take your tack cloth and remove all of the dust and debris that created. After that, I then apply a very small, thin layer of finish with a clean, lint-free cloth, wipe off the excess, let it dry, and guess what? Let's put on some legs. I love the style of these legs, and as you can see, because we have the insert screws already in place, they're very easy to install and very secure. But you know what? This piece is beautiful, but it's missing something. You know what it's missing? A brand. Yeah. If we're gonna be giving this thing away to one of my amazing subscribers, we gotta finish it off BYOT style. Now, we're done. There are so many reasons why I love this piece, but the real reason why I love it is that it's a piece that will last for generations if it's kept well. This thing is absolutely beautiful, it's unique, it's different, it has so much character due to the fact that it's such a beautiful burled walnut, and I cannot wait to give this thing away to one of you amazing followers. And as you can see, it is one truly beautiful, sexy beast. Oh yeah.
Whew. And as I promised from the very beginning of this video, I'm giving away this one-of-a-kind amazing coffee table to one of you. And the only way to enter is to actually enter into my email list at BYOTools.me. I'll leave a link in the description box below on where to actually find that email list. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you. One lucky subscriber is going to be winning this, as well as a few brands wanted to chip in on this huge milestone. So if you are interested in any one of these gifts,
TotalBoat is providing a free 1-gallon kit of their tabletop epoxy. Wall Control is providing a $150 discount code on any purchase. Mocket is providing a free wireless and hidden charging port for your phone, which was featured on BYOT. And Georgia Boot is providing a free pair of work boots. Amazing. Plus, I made a limited edition BYO t-shirt that is only available through the remainder of January 2021. Now, I will be giving away 5 of these t-shirts, but if you are interested in purchasing one, please check out my merch page on my website. Thank you.
No matter who wins, hopefully you guys learned something on this project, as well as took away the fact that I'm truly grateful for all of the love and support. So thank you all. Until next time.